The arrival of Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal marked the start of a new era for the club, with many believing him to be the missing piece that would take the young talented team to the next level. But few could have predicted the impact Alexis Sanchez would have on Arsenal, almost immediately reaching peaks most players dream of, while winning almost all individual and international awards. Yet this success never seemed to translate to more than FA Cups for Arsenal, and as time passed, Sanchez, once renowned for his ability to lead the team through the dysfunction that plagued them every season, found himself wrapped up within it. Until, just 3 years after signing, the two-time Arsenal Player of the Year left for rivals Manchester United in a move that shocked no one, and would later see the most decorated manager in the club's history forced out, their remaining mentally checked out superstar given one of the largest contracts in football history, and the club entering another long period of rebuilding. And this begs the question, why did Alexis Sanchez leave Arsenal? How had a team with so many young talents ended up shattered just 3 years later? And just what did Arsenal's ownership do during this time? This is the story of how Alexis Sanchez gave up on Arsenal. We begin in the summer 2014 transfer window, where a 25-year-old Sanchez found himself in the centre of a bidding war. As the teams negotiated, Sanchez made his intentions clear, and just a few days later the deal was done. The move was met with considerable optimism from fans and pundits alike. There was also an expectation that he would link up with German superstar Mesut Ozil, with Sanchez being seen as the missing piece to Arsenal's title ambitions. And with the new season on the horizon, pre-season predictions were optimistic, though most still favoured Chelsea and Manchester City to win it all. The 2014-15 season saw Alexis Sanchez explode onto the scene, with his ability quickly making him a fan favourite and solidifying his importance in the side as he racked up 13 goals and 10 assists by Christmas. Yet despite these performances, Arsenal's season was already crumbling. Injuries and defensive mistakes would see the club take just 4 wins from the first 14 games. Thankfully for Arsenal, the new year saw the return of first-team players, and with it their form improved, with Sanchez continuing to shine, drawing praise from club legends and critics alike, as he was named in the PFA Team of the Year, the only Arsenal player to make it. And after a brace against Hull, the PFA Fans Player of the Year award was his. Yet for all of Sanchez's individual success, the team had thus far failed to win a single trophy. The league title was a foregone conclusion, and Arsenal had suffered heartbreak in the Champions League last 16. But there was one final chance. The FA Cup final loomed, and for Sanchez, a chance to cap off an excellent first season with a trophy. And he did just that, scoring the second and assisting the third as Arsenal ran riot. Sanchez had won his first silverware in England, finishing the season as the club's top goalscorer and Arsenal's Player of the Year, an overall excellent first season, and one that presented fans and ownership a clear picture of what was required for the next. The summer 2015 transfer window was uneventful for Arsenal, to the frustration of many who believed the club should have signed a striker to pressure Giroud and Welbeck. Instead, an aging Petr Cech was the highlight of the window, with ownership and manager Wenger believing that as long as the team remained healthy, they could compete. A risky gamble given the club's recent history. The 2015-16 season started well, with Sanchez producing a highlight reel, and these goals were backed up by record-breaking assist numbers from Mesut Ozil. Together, the duo had propelled Arsenal to the top of the table by Christmas. And as the new year dawned, many believed this could be Arsenal's year. The team's performances had coincided with sharp declines from rival teams. If Arsenal could maintain their form, it would be difficult to catch them. Unfortunately, the new year saw Arsenal collapse. Poor finishing, defensive mistakes and injuries resulted in just a single league victory during January, and the following months saw little improvement, overcoming league leaders Leicester one week, only to throw points away in close losses to Manchester United and Swansea the next. And on the 2nd of May, despite dominating the game, Arsenal were held to a goalless draw against relegation-threatened Sunderland. Their title hopes were over. Arsenal finished the season second, their best in 11 years, but for Sanchez and Arsenal, this season was a failure. Off the back of career-defining numbers from Mesut Ozil and a strong first half of the season, the new year had seen Arsenal crumble, and while Sanchez shouldered some of the blame, much of the anger was directed to striker Olivier Giroud, who failed to score for 15 consecutive games. The club's gamble had failed. Worse still, it had happened in a season that was theirs for the taking. The 2016 transfer window was defined by a strange chase for Leicester striker Jamie Vardy, and though the club did eventually make signings, few believed their additions would allow Arsenal to challenge for trophies. Alexis Sanchez, however, had other ideas. Now sporting number 7, the beating heart of Arsenal transformed into a one-man army, keeping Arsenal firmly in contention for the title. By early March, the superstar had racked up 21 goals and 13 assists in all competitions, electrifying form which saw him shortlisted for the Player of the Year award. Yet even this was not enough, as Arsenal won just a single league game from the end of January to early April, ending talks of a title. As reports of disputes within the team began to emerge, and this alongside his expiring contract situation started to overshadow his incredible season, Sanchez spoke. He wanted to finish his contract and stay in London, but failed to mention Arsenal by name, let alone talk about re-signing. This only furthered fans' panic. Did it mean that Sanchez would be sold in the summer? Another superstar leaving in the final year of their contract was a sight fans had become all too accustomed to, even with the manager making it clear that Sanchez would not be sold in the summer and claiming the issue was purely financial. As the Premier League season wound down, Sanchez's Herculean performances had left Arsenal in 5th place, outside of the Champions League for the first time since 1997, but the consequences of this would have to wait. There was still one game left to play. A familiar foe awaited Arsenal in the 2017 FA Cup final, and for Sanchez another chance to end an incredible season with an FA Cup trophy. 90 minutes later, Sanchez had again put on a man of the match performance, again claimed an FA Cup trophy, and again finished as the club's top goalscorer and player of the season. With 30 goals and 18 assists, the first player in half a decade to score more than 20, Sanchez had reached a level even higher than the last time he had been here, but the club had slipped even further. The 2017 summer transfer window was a difficult one for Arsenal. Sanchez's season had seen many rival teams eager to acquire him. In a show of commitment to the future and to supporting their superstar duo, Arsenal acquired striker Alexander Lacazette for a club record fee, but this did little to calm fans or cool the transfer rumours, until at last on July the 15th, the world finally got their answer. Alexis Sanchez wanted out. It had become an open secret that a deal had been made with Manchester City, with the opportunity to play under Guardiola proving to be the deciding factor. Yet as time passed, no announcement came. Arsenal's failure to secure a replacement Thomas Lemar was holding the proceedings, until at last on deadline day, a fee was agreed with Monaco. After 3 years, the Alexis Sanchez era was over. What followed was predictable finger-pointing and media statements from both sides, but the result was the same. Sanchez would remain at Arsenal until at least the January transfer window. Yet for onlookers, it was clear that this was not the Sanchez of old, with questions being asked about his conditioning, effort and attitude. Sanchez, to his credit, did continue to score, with a diving header against Liverpool and 2 goals to get a crucial 3-2 away win against Crystal Palace. These were the last 2 goals Alexis Sanchez would score for Arsenal Football Club. On January 22, 2018, the Alexis Sanchez era at Arsenal officially ended. For the fans, the move was expected, but still frustrating. While his form had dropped, he was still their joint top goalscorer, and the trade package received was underwhelming at best. For the club, this move would have devastating consequences that would echo for years to come. And for Sanchez, he would never again reach the heights he had at Arsenal, with many attributing burnout to be the reason for his decline, and his experiences there, well. Yet despite this, or perhaps because of it, Alexis Sanchez is still remembered fondly for his incredible seasons at Arsenal, where he reached a level of play few have ever come close to, while inspiring a new generation with the belief that the game was never truly over if Alexis Sanchez was still on the pitch.